The courtroom held its breath, humming with quiet judgment. Across from me, she stood cloaked in ivory, the shade of innocence chosen with intent. Her hands rested protectively over her swollen belly like armor, and her eyes darted between me and the judge with the cool certainty of someone convinced the verdict was already hers. But she miscalculated. She believed the child she carried was her shield, her leverage, the flawless strategy to strip me of everything I had built, my company, my name, my life's work. What she didn't anticipate was simple. I was not the man she thought I was. She assumed love had left me blind. What she never realized was that, while she was busy staging a game, I was quietly preparing for war. 7 years ago, we first crossed paths at a rooftop mixer in city. I was buried in the grind of building an empire, long nights, bitter coffee, ambition burning like fuel. She, on the other hand, was already polished, magnetic, carefully crafted persona she wanted the world to admire. To outsiders, we seemed unstoppable together, driven, passionate, untouchable. But while I sweated and sacrificed, she maneuvered with charm and convenience. She told me she respected my discipline, admired my vision. She claimed to love me, but what she truly loved was the life I provided, not the man who carved it out. The fractures didn't appear all at once. First, it was a strange message that vanished too quickly. Then unexplained weekend getaways. New friends I never met. Timelines that unraveled under the slightest pressure. I convinced myself trust was loyalty, that suspicion was betrayal. I wasn't blind. I was simply patient. The truth came by accident. A casual remark from an acquaintance who assumed I already knew about her pregnancy. My stomach dropped. She hadn't told me. She was saving it. A courtroom grenade. The perfect sympathy play. I didn't react. Not then. Instead, I gathered myself and began watching, digging. And there he was. Young, attractive, naive. One of her brand collaborators. What I uncovered was undeniable. Hotel receipts, intimate photos, late-night texts, even sonogram foolishly synced to our shared cloud. She wasn't just unfaithful, she was reckless. And that recklessness became her downfall. I called my attorney. We moved swiftly. Accounts separated, assets secured, legal protections locked tight. By the time she sensed something was wrong, the walls were already built. She thought the delays in court were standard procedure. She thought I was distracted. She didn't realize I'd already fortified everything. Thursday arrived. The sky hung heavy, gray. She entered the courthouse as if it were a runway, late, composed, dressed to manipulate. Her attorney delivered a performance worthy of a stage, painting her as a faithful wife, the supportive partner, now pregnant and abandoned. Then the judge turned to me. Calm, steady. Mr. Vance, are you the father of the child? I let the silence stretch, its weight filling the room. Finally, I said, No, Your Honor, I am not. A flicker of confusion cracked her expression. I didn't stop there. I handed the judge a folder, precise, detailed, indisputable. Documentation, dates, screenshots, receipts. It spoke louder than I ever could. She broke then, not with theatrics, but in small, unraveling fragments. Her lawyer stumbled. She searched my face for mercy. There was none left. The judge reviewed the evidence. With the prenup intact and her infidelity exposed, the decision was swift. No alimony. Minimal assets. The child legally was not my responsibility. She walked out of that courthouse, carrying only the weight of her own choices. It's been 4 months since. She still reaches out, sometimes with fury, sometimes with apologies, often both in the same breath. The other man vanished the moment money didn't follow. Word spreads, financial ruin, emotional collapse. I don't celebrate her misery, but I don't carry it either. She underestimated me, believed my love would make me weak, thought betrayal would break me. But it didn't. It forged me sharper. She lit the match believing she had turned me to ashes, but I rebuilt in silence. And this time, she doesn't get an invitation.